Excellencies, Dr. Mohib, Deborah Lyons, Sergio Jaramillo, distinguished guests, panelists, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to all of the speakers and panelists today. This was indeed a very stimulating and thought-provoking discussion today. As Afghanistan's State Minister for Peace, I found the discussions particularly useful for our own work, and I would welcome further dialogue on how we can build on the ideas discussed today and translate them into practice. I would like to invite all of you to reach out to me and my team with additional thoughts or ideas on how we can all work together to take this agenda forward as the peace process unfolds. I want to offer some reflections on some of the points and insights presented in today's discussion. First, His Excellency Dr. Mohib highlighted the need to prioritize security by investing in the capability and growth of ANDSF. Also, he emphasized to continue focusing on a long-term development agenda to achieve a nexus of peace, security, and development. Mr. Bowden elaborated, Afghanistan had distorted process. We must address access to aid, increasing rural-urban divide, need strengthening local governance. Issues of policies, issues of policing needs to be looked at in depth, especially how to integrate militias into the system. Ambassador Herji focused that each village and provinces throughout Afghanistan has its own complexities. What do communities need from us? Inclusiveness, community building. She talked about education, especially the gains we have made over the past 20 years. And also, she emphasized on self-reliance, how to tackle conflict resolution. Dr. John Manza elaborated on how to maintain ally unity throughout the process as we are entering into the peace negotiation. He also touched on the tangible aspect of support in Geneva and also prepare Afghan forces to operate fully independently. Obviously, he also mentioned the fact that NATO needs to adapt their role post-peace agreement. Sayed talked about good governance and security, inclusive, sustainable development, unemployment, and unfair distribution of aid is the root causes of instability. All segments of society's role should be inclusive. Role of international community. He talked about funding is important, but implementation should be led by the government. He also mentioned lack of coordination between donor community is a major challenge. Dr. Karam talked about the important concept of trust. Trust is essential, especially between institutions, citizens, and civil society. Look at the local context, role of religion and religious actors and leaders should be the central focus of the framework for development. COVID is a good example of how religious leaders can play a very effective role. The main point that I take away from today's event is the need for a balanced approach to security, development, and peace. It is clear to me that over the past 19 years, the international community preoccupied with winning the war on terror focused too much on security in support to Afghanistan, with less weight placed on achieving sustainable development and peace-building objectives. Going forward, we must place greater emphasis on development and peace-building initiatives that help resolve local conflicts and place human rights and the long-term reduction of violence against civilians at the forefront. These measures must also include tangible improvements in education and economic opportunities, especially for our young people, many of whom are facing a bleak and uncertain future. Of course, to continue our common fight against forces of global terrorism, our brave security forces will still need the support of the international community. And we are grateful for all that has been achieved over the past 2 decades. But unless investments in security infrastructure are complemented by a renewed focus on peace building and development, we risk repeating the mistakes of the past. We need all 3 areas to advance in parallel if we are to achieve our vision of just and sustainable peace. Finally, I want to emphasize the importance of the timing of this conference, which is convening at a crucial time in our country's history. Although we are working hard to achieve a negotiated peace settlement, our citizens continue to suffer from violence and poverty each day. This conference is therefore important, not only from a financial perspective, which we are grateful for, particularly during the global pandemic, but also from a political and psychological perspective. It demonstrates to the Afghan people that they have not been forgotten by the international community, and there is some hope their suffering may come to an end. The commitment given in this conference will convey the assurance towards a future that our people enjoy living in a peaceful Afghanistan, where the human rights and dignity of all citizens are respected and the healing process is well underway. Thank you again for all of your support, and we look forward to continuing to engage with you as friends and partners to achieve a better future for Afghanistan. Thank you.